want to just thank everybody for being here. This is the 4th Internet Sales 20 group. The first one was in Philadelphia, then we did Chicago, then we did Dallas, and now beautiful Los Angeles. And it is really spectacular to be here in Los Angeles with everybody here. So we wanted to come up with a different concept. So the name of this workshop is The Evolution in Natural Selection of the Automotive Industry. And watching that video blows me away to see how far this industry's come and how much that we've persevered. And again, it's just awesome. This month, and actually last month in October, I was on the cover of a dealer association in Atlanta called the Metro Atlanta Dealer Association for an article about the next evolution for car sales. So this keynote is going to have some of that. Now, I believe that you guys got this workbook as well. You should have that magazine, yes? Can you confirm that? Okay, it is. Okay, this magazine is going to be predominantly for salespeople. So when you go back to your dealerships, there's a whole philosophy that is going to be roadmap that you can take back to your stores and immediately implement for showroom sales. I do this workshop for the Greater New York Dealer Association, for Detroit Auto Dealer Association, Atlanta, and several others. So I hope you guys enjoy it. This is going to be a hybrid off of that. Okay, let's just get into it. NADA is predicting that in 2013 we're going to hit 15 million sales, 15 million vehicles. The reason why I bring this up is that there was a time in the automotive industry, especially if you worked at a Toyota dealership, where you just showed up to work and you were making money. And then all hell broke loose with the economy, with natural disasters, and everything fell apart. Now that the economy is coming back, I put that video together because I want to remind people, in an instant, it could be all taken away. Yes? Yes. Louder, people, come on. Yes. So I want us to remember what we just went through and not forget. And the lessons that I'm going to go through in this presentation is, you saw the evolution, now I want to get to the natural selection. What is the ultimate next level for success? What does that look like? Well, first, in my opinion, this conference itself personifies the forward thinking, execution, and success. The people in this room, I'm just going to start naming some people off. Robert Wiseman. Can you just stand up for a second? I don't know if you guys have met Robert before, but Robert is all over the place. He had this brand called Your Hyundai Guy. He was a single-point car salesperson at a Hyundai dealership in Maryland. And he had such a profound impact with digital marketing, with video optimization. And I think if you Google right now, 2013 Hyundai, Sonata Hyundai, whatever, in Maryland, Robert shows up more than his own dealership. A salesperson shows up more than his dealership. But what's even crazy, if you type in 2013 Honda Accord, Robert shows up more than his dealership and the competing dealership. He worked at a Hyundai store, and he has better optimization than the Honda dealership. Robert, am I correct? Yeah. Okay. And he doesn't even work there anymore. And he doesn't even work there anymore. And he still has better optimization than his old dealership and the competing dealership. That's crazy. Right next to Robert is Elise. This is one of Jim Ziegler's amazing finds. Elise, stand up real quick.
Danny, the one that Danny has a crush on.
Yeah, this is the one that Danny has a crush on. Elise, stand up real quick, please. Yes, you do it. Come on. Elise, come on. Yeah, a YouTube diva. And I'm just going to keep going through. Again, that's a couple sales professionals right there. Elise is really huge on these video emails from Sunset Honda. And I actually, you know this, I'm training dealers over the country, and I bring you up all the time, and no royalty checks, but I do bring you up all the time and just say how awesome she is. Because she's doing proactive, progressive engagement and communication with dealers, with prospects. She's doing things that normal salespeople aren't doing. So she's getting what normal salespeople aren't getting, more success. Now, we've got Danny Benitez, and I'm going to just jump to the general managers really quick. We got Danny Benitez, who's the GM of Greg Lair Buick GMC in Amarillo, Texas. This man is just very proactive. There's a lot of dealers, unfortunately, that just don't get it. What they do is they want to reminisce in the times that are past. He is constantly trying to evolve. I mean, he's got, Danny, really quick, what's that thing you do, the 1 second, the 60-second?
Dealer 60 is not moving about yet.
But he's got this thing called Dealer 60. And in it, he's got some crazy progressive ideas himself. And he's the GM taking time to create little tidbits for education. He's blogging, he's tweeting, and he's really successful. Now, besides having salespeople that are successful, general managers, dealer principals, this is the dealer principal. How long has your business been going for? 99 years, 99 and a half years, right? It's R.C. Lacey in upstate New York. So we've got dealer principals, we've got general managers, we've got salespeople, we have internet directors that are here. Jack, where's Jack at? Jack is the internet director of Lohman in New Jersey. They're an independent dealership doing over 100 units a month pre-owned, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and they're looking to go, they have about, what, 12 BDC reps now?
Yes.
And they're looking to do about 175 units out of an independent dealership in New Jersey in Woodbridge. Is that correct, Jack?
Yes, sir.
Now, we've also got companies that are in here. I'm going to cross the room from Cars Direct, Social Deal. I don't want to miss anybody. Auto By Town, I'm going to just reference them. Auto By Town, I don't know if you guys know your history, but in 1995, they were accredited for starting the whole internet sales thing. Am I correct, Scott?
That's correct.
Okay, so we have in this room right now a tremendous amount of talent. I want you to just take this in and use the next 3 days to network. We're not trying to be a big convention. This format can't work. This is synergy in here. The way that I want to set the expectations for the next 3 days is immense conversation. Some of you have been to the previous Internet Sales 20 groups. That's the single most incredible differentiator from any other workshop in the automotive industry. This is not going to be lecture and answer. There's going to be a tremendous amount of conversation. In my workshops, vendors are not pariahs. Vendors are going to be outcast. As long as they play by the rules, and I'm saying this on record, there's no pitching, there's no education. If you have something intelligent to say, jump in the conversation. If you got questions, ask the questions. If a person in here asks a question, jump in. Don't just be tweeting and Facebooking over there on the sidelines. I want you all involved in this workshop, okay?
Right on.
Thank you. All right, good. Now, has anybody here read the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? A couple? All right, well, me and Karen are going to do a workshop later on today for the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. But I want to just reference something right here. This is what Covey calls the maturity continuum. Now, what Dr. Covey basically says is there's 3 stages for human beings thinking and interaction with others. The first is dependency. Let me just kind of demonstrate. You make me feel. It's your fault. Our finance department can't close a deal. It's the leads. The leads suck. All their leads, they're horrible. Our sales manager, they can't close a sandwich, never mind a deal. Wham, wham, wham. Anybody heard this before? Yeah. Okay, good. That's what I'm talking about. Now, but here's the problem, is that there's a next stage of evolution in human beings. It's called independence. And I got to admit, I'm an independent criminal. You know, I stayed in this thing for years. I tortured my reps when I was still an internet director. I'm going to admit it right there. I was a rock star. I was a 30-car salesperson, and I didn't play nice in the sandbox. I know that you know these people at your dealerships that are doing 20, 30, or more cars, but they don't do anything to synergize on the floor. Anybody know anybody like this? I didn't know any better, but after my evolution, I understood there's a higher level. The highest level on the maturity continuum is called interdependence. Interdependence, it goes from being all about me, to all about we, all about us. And that is the next evolution. That is the natural selection of successful organizations. That's what I want to get at. It's not one department, not 2 departments, not 5 different profit centers. It's not us against them. I see this too much. The truly successful organizations are the ones that embrace interdependence. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes. Now, the most successful dealerships are those who practice interdependence. Now, Zig Ziglar once said, there's only one thing worse than training your staff and having them leave, and that's not training them and having them stay. This is so true, and I just want to say this, is that you can't use the old school tactics. Did you see that video? They had horse and buggies. If you have training tapes from the 80s or the 90s or even the early 2000s, you really need to upgrade. You cannot train people how to sell cars back like it was the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Please. Now, I'm going to jump to here. Jim, I don't know if Jim knows that I put the slide in here. There's a book that's called Who Moved My Cheese? Anybody read this book, Who Moved My Cheese? Anybody like this book? It's basically, it's a car guy, car girl book because it's like 40 pages. It's a simple read. Basically what it's saying is you can't keep doing the same things that you're doing. I got to tell you, everybody knows I really care about Jim and Debbie very much. They mean the world to me. And one of the reasons that I am inspired by Jim is that, I'm not going to tell anybody this that they don't know, but he's 66 years old. He's 66 years old. And he has his own conference, the Internet Battle Plans. This man blows my mind, is that he did not turn around and, oh snap, it's getting bad in here, and he dropped his F&I background. He didn't drop his sales management background. He kept his roots. He's a badass sales manager. He's a badass F&I manager, but he evolved and he added a whole other thing to his repertoire. Does that make sense? That doesn't mean that salespeople or dealerships need to forget what makes them strong or what makes them money or what makes them special, but they need to evolve. In my opinion, Jim Ziegler personifies the evolution and the natural selection of an automotive sales professional. So can everybody give Jim a round of applause, please? That's what I'm talking about. Dealerships need to evolve to that whole other category. And I mean this with love, Jim, but if he can do it, and that's when I think of a car guy or car professional, I think of him. If he could evolve, I watched him in the NSA. This cracks me up, in the National Speaker Association. He's just as big there as he is in the automotive industry, and he's teaching the NSA people about the internet and stuff. It blows my mind. It's evolution. Now, by changing, how do we evolve? To me, it's by changing how we operate. Now, traditional methods are no longer effective. Radio, print, basic marketing materials aren't enough anymore. They're not. I'm not saying I don't want to offend anybody. I think they all have their value, but they're not the mecca that they once were before. When traditional media, to me, that is intrusive advertisement. It shouldn't be the only thing. We live in a digital world, and you have to change your strategy to reflect that. Incorporate social media, videos, optimize your website, put yourself out there where your prospects are. But this is not just for dealerships, this is for salespeople. What makes a modern dealership or modern sales consultant? To me, modern stores and consultants are immersed in internet sales, BDC, and digital marketing. Modern stores and consultants are buying and generating leads proactively instead of reactively. Modern stores and consultants seek to find prospects where they are online. There's still a lot of dealerships that are reacting to energy or to momentum or to traditional media. Now, here's one of the biggest things that I've learned in the whole natural selection aspect of things. Proactive prospecting. Capturing prospects at point of interest versus point of sale. Too many times, dealerships and sales professionals, they only engage the prospect when they're ready to buy an automobile. But the average buying cycle is 45 to 90 days. There's a tremendous amount of time during that point of interest stage. How many people, it's a rhetorical question, you don't have to answer, but how many people do you know or yourself that you do research online before you buy something? Most people research more than they buy stuff online. Why are we only trying to sell things to people? If you create how-to videos, comparison videos, social media engagement, all this type of stuff, if you've got content that kind of fulfills the need of information gathering, that research gathering, you'll be ahead of the curve. Does that make sense, everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the whole ZMOT thing because it's been worn out, but I am going to state that there is a real thing, and that is the fact that over 80% of all transactions start on search engines. And the number one thing to people is reviews. It's getting other people's opinions. It's looking at the Google reviews. When you look at your Apple iPhone or your iPad or any of those things, and you ask from a voice-activated question, Siri pops up and it's integrated with Yelp. It's very important that dealers are feeding that need. And again, people are going into social media, asking their social networks what they think about big decisions before they make a big choice. Would you agree with that? Where are salespeople and dealerships? Unfortunately, not a lot of them are there. Okay, I'm going to go through some quick little tidbits of details. Some of you know this stuff, but it's always a good refresher. 92 to 99% of Americans go online before they step foot into a dealership. The average person spends 11 hours online before they step foot into the dealership. Think about that. It takes a hot second, maybe 30 seconds to a minute, to turn around and identify an invoice or a price on a vehicle. So what are they doing for 10 hours, 59 and a half minutes? What are they doing? They're doing research. They're looking at reviews. They're looking at comparison videos. They're doing all this stuff. Where are we at for all that time other than just looking for a price? Now, car buyers, on average, research 5 to 8 different dealerships and brands before they buy. This is something I write down. This is huge. Another huge opportunity that you have is the fact that there was last year, in 2012, Google did an analysis report with Compete, and I think it was ComScore, or Pulk. No, it was Compete and Pulk. And what it said is, it's the Google cross-shopper analysis report. They said that 73% of people are going to cross-shop. So Kevin Pruitt is the general manager of Mike Pruitt Honda in Akron, Ohio. Kevin, say hello.
Hello.
There you go. His dad's a famous football player, Mike Pruitt. There you go. So I had to put you on the spot, baby. So listen, if somebody's looking for a Honda Accord, statistically, I know that 73% are going to cross-shop a Toyota or a Nissan or Ford or Chevy. What are we doing to engage prospects other than the Honda shopper? Think about that for a second. If I'm telling you that 5 to 8 internet prospects are looking at other websites and other dealerships besides yourself. Now let's just play this out with Kevin. If I'm in the market for a Honda Accord, check this out. I might be looking at some information on my trade, right? 75% of car purchasers have a trade situation. So if I'm looking at my trade, I could be going to Kelley Blue Book, I could be going into NADA guides, I could go to AutoTrade, I could go to any of these other websites. That poof is a lead from somebody, a different lead source provider, right? A different dealership. If I've got a credit situation, I could turn on and go to Digital Marketing Networks, one of their aggregates, or I could go to a bad credit website. That turns into another lead. Remember, I'm looking for a Honda Accord, but just by accident, I've submitted a trade stuff, I submitted a credit application. If I need insurance, that could get floundered somewhere else. But the big ones, again, are cross-shopping. I'm looking for potentially a Toyota Camry or a Nissan Altima or a Chevy Malibu. Make sense? And a lot of dealerships are not paying attention to their other conquest opportunities that are out there. So I want you to write that down and think about that. Next. The average buying cycle is 45 to 90 days. It's much longer than 72 hours. According to NADA, this is something crazy. The average cost per sale. Now, my dealers and my GMs understand what I'm saying, but my internet directors or my sales consultants, you want to speak GM, you want to speak dealer, it's all about money. What you could do when you go back to your dealerships is explain to them that cost per sale in advertising is so much cheaper on the internet. And my lead source providers, I'm going to teach you something right here, okay? Again, NADA says that it's $640 per car in advertising. NCM says it's under $400. With a internet advertising done the right way, it could be $200 or less. Let's just take any third-party lead. If it's an average about $20 per lead, 100 leads is $2 grand, 10% closing ratio, your average cost per sale is $200 per car. Everybody follow my math? On top of having 1/3 average cost per sale in an advertisement situation, it's also transparent and trackable. No more hocus pocus. Digital marketing makes it easy to track ROI. Okay, sales professionals of the future are here now. We got a newcomer, we got Joseph Argento from Burns Honda. These 3 people, there's many of them out there. The reason why I highlighted these professionals, they all have different skill sets and different strategies how to sell cars in 2013 and beyond. Now, how can you position yourself as a salesperson for modern times? This is pretty advanced. So again, even if you're not a salesperson, please, if you're a GM or if you're a dealer principal, listen to what I'm about to show you. This is very, very cutting edge stuff. This is what I'm doing for all the associations right now, Detroit, New York, etc., is what I'm about to break down for you. A salesperson needs to be posting videos, testimonials, walkarounds, how-to, comparison videos, create their own website, be active on social media networks, manage their online reputation, engage in cross-promotional marketing. So, for example, testimonial videos, film videos. What kind of videos can salespeople be doing? Okay, you got new car sales, used car sales, service customers, female shoppers, value package proposition, meaning why buy from us, how-to videos, how to put your Bluetooth together. I just bought a vehicle from DJ over here, and you shot some videos off of your iPhone for me?
Yeah.
Okay, it was an X6M, and it's pretty complicated with the iDrive and all the other stuff. And I'm in New Jersey, he's based in Illinois, so he basically shot me these videos, and it was a huge help. He could take those videos, and he could optimize them, and he could even send them to his customers through video email, correct?
Yes.
Very useful. So now, okay, so besides testimonial videos, listen to me, this is very important. I'm not just saying stick a camera in someone's face and then go, oh, can I get a video testimonial? Listen to me very carefully. If you're a salesperson or an internet department, if you're going to take video testimonials, Prep your audience. Just for 2 seconds, watch. Hey, Joe, you had a great experience with us here at ABC Motors? Well, can you do me a favor, please? Can I get a quick, it's on my phone, just a quick, 30-second video testimonial. Is that okay? All right, before I put the camera on, I just want to go over a couple of things. What did you like best about the experience? Well, whatever he says, if I saved him money, if I made it convenient, if it was a hot vehicle he couldn't find anywhere else, whatever it is, I'm going to just take time, literally 10, 20, 30 seconds to prep, like a federal attorney is going to prep the witness. I'm going to prep my testimonial. That way I'll get much more substance, a way better value out of that video testimonial. Does that make sense, everybody? Now, you want to diversify your testimonials. What I had here is, I just said new car, used car, service customers, female shoppers. Females have over 80% buying power. If you have a Latino community or a Jewish community or any type of minority community by you, you should try to reflect your audience. Be very, very selective. This is one of the best tools that a sales professional can have, is video testimonials that are articulated and strategically put together, not just slapped together. Now, once you have these videos, you want to optimize them. But long story short, you can't just upload videos on your phone to YouTube or to Vimeo. You want to make sure that you have the title, description, meta tags, and it's relevant. We'll show some examples. And then deploy videos. You don't want to just deploy these videos to YouTube. You want to use different video engines, such as MetaCafe, Vimeo, Vidler, YouTube, of course, and other video engines. All you got to do is Google video search engines or video engines, and you'll have a whole slew of them that pop up. Now, just some important statistics for social media. 84% of US vehicle shoppers use Facebook. 41% said they saw a post that caused them to add or remove a brand from their list of choices. 38% said they saw a post that caused them to add or remove a dealership from their list of choices. 45% of users asked their friends or family for recommendations. 25% of users said that social media significantly influenced their purchase decision. Again, we're past the stage of social media relevant. Yes, it is. I know dealers for a fact that are making money off of social media now. They're making money off of social media, absolutely. So I want you to think about that. If that works for a dealership, why aren't salespeople using social media to sell cars? Some do, but more need to. Engage your customers and prospects and encourage them to engage with you. Sales consultants, don't expect your dealership to take this role alone. Be proactive in posting comments and feedback to your social media pages and share some of the dealership's news and events with your fans. Now, here's a list of some of the social media sites that I recommend for salespeople to have. Again, obviously Facebook, YouTube, Flickr. Flickr to me is what YouTube is to videos, is pictures is to Flickr. You can optimize Flickr really well. I've got a bunch of clients that we basically uploaded pictures of inventory, of the staff, of the dealership, etc., and then we optimize them, just like you'd optimize a video, and they index really powerfully. Make sense? Twitter, phenomenal. Google+, and then LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a huge one, especially for my internet departments, my BDCs, and my executive managers. LinkedIn is a great resource for doing cross-promotional marketing. LinkedIn is great to reach out to businesses. When I was working in New Jersey, last dealership I was at Cherry Hill Nissan. I had a cross-promotional marketing program with Toys R Us. We were the only dealership ever to do a cross-promotional with Toys R Us. We had a Nissan Quest on the showroom of Toys R Us in Cherry Hill, and when the people rang up their stuff, we had Cherry Hill Nissan in the back of the receipts. We engaged with the United States military, with all the police departments. We did a lot of these businesses and organizations. I'm telling you, this is how you could prospect these people. On LinkedIn, they have their names, phone numbers, 50 million ways to contact them. So how many people here use LinkedIn to prospect or do either fleet accounts or cross-promotional marketing? Wow, not many people at all. You guys aren't doing it yourselves? How many people know what LinkedIn is? I was going to say, wow, you guys know what LinkedIn is, but you're not using it. LinkedIn is pretty badass. It really is. Because I would use it for B2B stuff. Let's just go for, Kev, for you in Akron. What big company is by you?
University of Akron.
Okay, the university's there. Is there like I know I had a dealer in Clear Lake that's right by NASA, stuff like that. Do you have any big companies?
Suma Hospital.
Okay, I'm sure that if you go to LinkedIn, you'll find the biz dev person, you'll have, business relations or whatever it is, you'll be able to find these people right off of there. And you could start to reach out to them. Does that make sense to everybody? And this is what I'm telling you. We're in the section right now for salespeople. Salespeople are talking about that there's no opportunity, there's no opportunity, there's no opportunity. Instead of trying to use pizza boxes and all these old school diner mats and all this stuff, I mean, go right there to a whole unlimited source of businesses, come up with a value package why these people should do business with you. I'm going to give you another bit of information. I don't know if my lead source providers know this. The highest closing ratio on the internet. Anybody know what it goes from? Come on. I'll give away a book. Anybody knows the answer? Nope, not LinkedIn. Good try. Membership buying programs. Third-party providers are about 8%. You know, a website is about 14 to 16%, depending what website you have, et cetera. But membership buying programs is about a 27% closing ratio. Costco, AAA, Sam's Club. Membership buying programs have the highest internet closing ratio. The problem with them, though, is that there's not a lot of leads. But people perceive if they're part of a membership buying program, they're going to get a better situation, a better deal. Does that make sense? So create your own membership buying program. Create your own benefits. Now, Facebook examples, we're going to skip this. Online reputation. How many salespeople do you know at your dealership that are very active? And I'm not talking about DealerRater. DealerRater to me is like MySpace. I'm not taking shots, I'm just saying. You know, who's on MySpace right now besides Justin Timberlake? Hey, at least. So you got to make sure that your salespeople and your service writers are really, really focused on developing your online reputation for Google reviews, for Yelp, for your own blog if you have a review blog. It's very, very important, not just for the dealership, but for the individual salespeople to do this as well. Now, the importance of videos. The average buyer spends 11 hours researching, 3 hours of it watching videos, and 2 hours using search engines. More than 3 billion Google searches are completed daily. Videos show up in 50% of Google searches. That's not if people are asking for videos. If you just Google something, half of the, videos show up 50 times, 50% of Google searches. So again, even if you're not asking Google for a video, if a video is optimized the right way, it's going to pop up. Now, video is 53 times more likely to be clicked over a static text link. I was saying for years, only 0.5% of people go past the first page of Google. One of my people at Deal with Synergy, my creative director, said, Sean, there's a better way of saying this. Look at this. 99.5% of people don't look past the top 10 results. That's a better way of saying that. 99.5% of people don't go past the top 10 results. So you basically need to show up on the first page of Google, but not just once, numerous amount of times. Now, I'm going to just kind of skip through a couple of these slides here. This is where Robert Wiseman's videos are showing up, Elise's videos are showing up, Joseph Argento's are showing up. If you want to write something down, if you just go to Google and type in 2014 Toyota Sienna Marlton NJ, again, people are going to geo-target their search. Joseph's videos pop up. Again, 2014 Toyota Sienna, and he works at a Honda dealership, Burns Honda in Marlton, New Jersey. So you have a salesperson on the showroom floor that his videos are showing up not only for his brand, but for his #1 competing brand. Same thing with Robert, same thing with anybody that's using the video optimization strategy to conquest. It's very simple. Evolve sales techniques for the modern automotive sales consultant. I'm going to rip through these. Start with a plan. Create a business plan with a clear end goal in mind. Plan and prepare according to make sure that you meet these goals. Diversify how you sell cars. Again, very key. There's a lot of salespeople that just live off of floor ups or internet ups or phone ups, but I'm going to show you that there's 8 different ways that a sales professional can sell an automobile. Create a plan that reaches out to prospects in all these categories. Beware of the closing ratios when calculating your goals. Okay, the 8 ways are be-backs, walk-ins, phone ups, internet ups, service customers, previous customers, referrals, and prospecting. I'm going to repeat this. There's 8 main ways that a sales professional can sell an automobile. Besides just taking a fresh up or just taking a phone up. There's 8 ways. What my research shows is that the majority of sales consultants out there are only operating out of 3 or 4 different areas. They're not maximizing on all 8 ways. Now, I know from being at many dealerships, there's certain salespeople that might gravitate towards different things. For example, service customers. I know there's some dealerships that have a sales professional that just lives in the service drive, that tries to convert people that are coming in for oil changes to a newer pre-owned vehicle. I know people that have data mining. There's some CRMs that have equity mining software, so they're ready for people to come in for their service appointments with the pitch, how to get somebody out of their vehicle into a newer pre-owned car for the same payment or less. Are we maximizing all 8 ways? Most likely not. Now, the internet is a key. In order to maximize the other areas, you need to focus more online. With positive, relevant, and content-filled pages, it will attract more prospects from online resources. Very important. I want salespeople to understand something. We know that 92 to 99% of Americans go online before they step foot into the dealership. If that's the case, then why aren't salespeople where everybody's going? I'm going to repeat that. I ask them all the time. If you know that almost everybody's on the internet, then why is it just your dealership? If you are your own business, like they tell you this is your own business, then if you're a business owner, you should be on the internet like your dealership, like your OEM. Who agrees with that? Thank you. Emulate successful strategies. Dealerships should emulate the OEM strategies in regards to social media and online activities. Sales consultants should emulate the dealership strategies with regards to social media and online activities. In my opinion, a sales consultant should be involved in SEO, SEM, video production, social media, retargeting, online reputation, website development, focus sites, microsites, blogs. I know what you're thinking. It's hard. Jim, why don't people lift weights?
Because they're heavy.
Because they're freaking heavy. That's why I don't lift weights. So again, I get it. If this was easy, everybody would be doing it. But just try to imagine if you were a salesperson and you had all these things out there, how much more successful would you be? There's a reason why dealerships emulate the OEM digital strategy. Why are not salespeople emulating the dealership strategy? Practice a proactive mindset. You cannot afford to wait for magic to happen. Be creative about where you find your prospects. The way you view the sales process will determine your behavior, which will determine your results. Methodical follow. Become an expert in inbound, outbound phone process, including voicemails. Become an expert on inbound and outbound email processes. Become an expert in social media communications and reputation management. Become an expert in video messaging, utilizing Skype, FaceTime, GoToMeeting, etc. Elise is extremely successful, and her thing has been video emails and video communications. Correct, Elise?
Sure, yeah.
One of your things that Jim has highlighted from you. Again, salespeople that have a diversified approach to engage and respond to their prospects. Now, for your stores, I'm just curious out here, how many dealerships offer in their first email template to their prospect options on how to engage? Elise, for example, what I try to tell my clients is I say, listen, in the first email template, you should offer your prospects an option of how they would like to be engaged. For example, hey, this is Sean Bradley. I'm here at ABC Motors. I'm looking forward to speaking to you about your internet purchase request. Please let me know the best way you'd like to connect. We could set up a video GoToMeeting. We could set up a FaceTime. We could set up a Skype. And don't worry, if you don't want to be on camera, it's fine, but I want you to see who you're going to be working with. It's a little trial close, isn't it? Offer the prospects the way to engage that they're used to. People all over the place are using FaceTime and using all these different awesome communication mediums. I'm having my internet departments and my salespeople, if you can't find their phone numbers, you could go to Spokio, you could go to Google, you could go to LinkedIn, and you could do reverse lookups, and you could get people's contact information. You can engage people, if you don't have their phone number, if you don't have certain contact information, through Facebook, through Twitter. Over 60% of Facebook is accessed through their mobile devices, yes? There's a lot of ways that a evolved sales professional needs to be able to engage their prospects. Time management skills. Me and Karen are going to focus on the Franklin Covey 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, but time management is imperative. Determine how you're going to look for prospects. How many of them are in your dealership? How many of them you need to call, etc. You got to be careful of distractions disguised as opportunities. Accountability. Track and test your progress throughout the month. The right number of conversations will result in the right number of dealership visits, which will result in the right number of units sold. So for example, my metric that I use is there's only about an 11 to 14% connection ratio on the phones. So for my internet departments, they're made to make or take 120 calls in a day. Because out of the 11 to 14%, they're only going to connect with about 14 to 17 people. A salesperson's got to do a product presentation, demo drive, delivery. They're not going to be able to do that. They're not going to be able to do 120, but they should be able to do 40 to 60 if they don't have anything going on that day. They should be able to connect with about 8 or 9 people in a day if they have a methodical, habit, if they have a methodical process to be able to try to make something happen and not just wait for magic to happen to them. This has got huge reviews. I did a webinar with like 500 dealerships like last year, and it was my mind map that I created. If you look at the board really quick, if you are at a dealership and you don't know how the hell you're going to sell cars, chances are you're never going to hit your objectives. There's so many times I go into a dealership and I talk to the salespeople and I ask them, how many cars are you going to sell? Oh, 20, 30, whatever. How are you going to do it? I don't know. I'm going to work hard. Good luck with that. Yes? I'm going to work hard and take some ups. You've got to begin with the end result in mind. So this is a mind map that I created. Here's just an example. And these numbers, you could fit in any way you want. It doesn't really matter. But if you take a look here, beginning with the end result in mind, I want to sell 30 cars. There's 8 different ways. So I'm going to figure out where I'm going to get all of these units from. And then I know how many people I need to have in front of me to present to sell this. Over here, I need to know how many people I need to talk to get this amount of people in front of me. And I do it per day, per week, per month. So I know how many people I need to speak to per day, per week, per month, how many people I need to present to per day, per week, per month, how many people I need to sell per day, per week, per month to be able to hit my objectives. How strong is that formula right there, people? Can I get some love on that, please? This is how a dealership should operate. And now here, are there any other dealer principals and GMs here? There's a couple of you guys, right? Absolutely, I've seen a bunch. Now, Kevin, for you, you're a GM, you should be holding your GSMs and your sales managers accountable. As the GM, you should be able to go to your GSM and your sales manager and say, okay, how many units we're going to sell next month? And you need to hold them accountable. If they're going to say, I'm going to sell 230, I'm going to sell 300 cars, where do you get my cars from? Do you see how a dealer principal or GM can manage with this? You force your sales managers or your GSM to put their numbers in here, and this is going to show you your true transparency, your SWOT, your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You're going to see, holy smokes, I suck at prospecting at this store. So instead of having aimless meetings, you can focus on where your deficiencies are. You can maximize your opportunities, yes? Yes. So this is not just good for the salesperson. This is good for the sales managers, GSM, all the way up to the GM and dealer principal. Now, here's one thing I'm going to say before I go to the next slide. It drives me crazy that everybody's on a different page of a different book at the store. If you walk to your dealership, you ask the GM, where's he going to get his cars from, or how many cars he's going to sell, it's going to be a different reality all the way trickled down to the salesperson. Can you imagine if everybody was operating from the same page of the same book? How much more effective interdependence could be possible, yes? We're winding down. Master your craft. Master the road to the sale. Master the product knowledge. Master the art of passionately explaining the features and benefits of your brand over your competitors. Master your articulation of why your dealership's value package is better than any other. Become a master at qualifying a prospect and determining their wants, needs, and expectations. Master an arsenal of 5 to 7 rebuttals for each of the top 10 objections. Yes, that means 50 or 70. Jim says it all the time in his training. Master your craft like you were getting a master's degree in any other profession. That's what you need to do. Now, that was just for the salespeople. I'm almost done. For the dealerships of the future, how can you position yourself as a dealership for modern times? Focus on the 4 Ps. An internet department is made or broken in 4 key categories of products, people, process, promotions. This is not just winging it. Everybody in this room, we have it based on the 4 Ps. An internet department is made or broken, maximized or underutilized in products, people, process, promotions. Next. Create an internet department or BDC. There's a lot of dealerships that don't have a really proactive internet department or business development initiative. It baffles me. Create a comprehensive digital marketing strategy. Manage your online reputation. Invest in your greatest asset by training your people. Get connected to different blogs. You've got Sociable, you've got Automotive Internet Sales, you've got Auto Success Magazine, there's a ton of them. But you can't just kind of memorize some stuff and you're good to go. Constantly be connected with your peers. Reasons why I love these 20 groups, because I learn just as much as I teach. I learn just as much. Now, my new GM, Joe Calla, reminded me of something very powerful. I want you to think about this. I am sick and tired of listening to you talk about how we can get bigger. If we get better, our customers will demand we get bigger. That's what we need to think about. We really need to think about, forget about selling just more cars and more cars and more cars. I know that's what we want to do, but focus on getting better. Better, to me, is more, I don't know, preeminent than just bigger. Because I know a lot of dealers that are bigger, that CSI sucks. And right or wrong, this is a car statement right here. Volume could hide inadequacies, right or wrong.
Sean,
yes?
better and unique.
Better and unique, absolutely. Better and unique. Be different. What is different? about you and your organization. If you're looking at 5 to 8 other competitors, your prospect needs to decide why you. Now, working each individual profit center is not the best way to succeed anymore. None of the profit centers will thrive if they're not working together. The showroom, F&I, internet department, service department, ABC Motors. It has to be one cohesive entity, that whole interdependence that I was talking about. You're only as strong as your weakest link. Whether it's your dealership or your internet department or BDC, you could have the best people, but if your CRM is jacked up, you have an antiquated, CRM tool, like ColecoVision, right? If you have something like that, if you have crappy email templates, if your website doesn't perform, if you've got broken links, it doesn't matter how good your people are. If you have the best technology and you have the best people, but you don't have standard operating procedures, what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Do you see how this is an ecosystem? You can't just have one thing. You're only as strong as your weakest link. Again, products, people, process, promotion is the 4 Ps. Now, I want to put something, I'm winding down now. A typical dealership, as per NADA, has a GM, GSM, sales managers, 10 salespeople, and F&I. Would you all agree with this? Yes or no? Louder.
Yes.
Okay, this is the average dealership. You know what the average dealership gets? 9.6 units sold per person. The average dealership in the country, as per NADA, sells 96 cars. Is that correct? It's about correct from what you know? Now watch the difference. An evolved dealership's internet department can properly sell 119 units a month with half as many people.
Sean, average is the exact point where suck starts.
Yes, I would agree. Say it again, Jim.
Average is the exact point where suck starts.
100%. Does anybody think this is possible? If the average dealership, it takes 14 people, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 people to sell 96 cars, do you think that we could do it with 119 units with half the people? I'm going to show you. Okay, here's a dealership projection. Watch, these are appointment setters. If you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 appointment setters, if they're each making or taking 120 phone calls in a day, follow me on this. What they need to be able to do per day, per week, per month, I'm going to break it down. That's going to be in a month, 12,600 phone calls in a month. They're going to connect with 1,764. They're going to make about 441 appointments. 264.6 are going to show, and they're going to deliver 19 cars. This is real. I'm going to break this down. If they make or take 120 phone calls, they're going to connect with about 11 to 14%. Okay, out of that, they're going to make about 25 to 33% appointments, and they're going to have anywhere from about 55 to 62% show ratio, and they're going to be able to deliver anywhere from about 42 to 47%. So look at this. If you have 5 appointment setters in shifts from, let's say, 9 to 6, 11 to 8, they're going to make 120 phone calls. They're not doing product presentation, demo drive, delivery. They're doing this. You're talking about 12,600, 1,700, 441, 264, 119. Now watch this. This is real. These are just some of my dealers. We've got Nelson Mazda from 7 units to 80 units on that model. We've got Willis Honda from 60 to 130 in 2 months. They went over to 210. Charles Wells. Where's Charles Wells? Charles Wells is right here. He just did this. This is Andy Moore Chevrolet. We took a single point Chevy dealership right outside of Indianapolis. We started with about 60 units. 67 units. How many units did you max out with?
130.
130. How long did it take us to get you from 60 to 130 on the internet?
A little over 90. How long?
Yeah.
Right after the 90-day period.
90 days. Can I get a round of applause for that? They're part of an 8-store dealer group. And we're talking about last month, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is not, I've been doing automotive internet sales for 15 years, and when I worked at Cheryl and Nissan, I used that same formula. When I worked at Pine Belt, Nissan, Kia, Cadillac, I used that same formula. We've got people, for the last 10 years I've owned Dealer Synergy. Look at all these articles and all these magazines. It's the same formula. I just gave it to you. This is exactly what we're doing, and as of last month, we've got another one of our success stories right here. I'm giving you the model for free. It is strong as death, but you have to work it. Now, I'm wrapping up with this last thing right here. This is my digital marketing mind melt, okay? If you look at this, this to me is the dealership. This is a dealership right here, and I'm going to use this one because I'm on this side too much. If you look at this, is just ABC Motors. What I want to do is have a mutual fund concept. I want to have a diversified approach. So if I was a dealership and I wanted to crush it on the internet, I would have like these onion layers. So I have microsites and focus sites right here. I've got online reputation over here. I've got social media over here. I've got video search engine optimization over here. I've got pay-per-click over here. I've got third-party providers and aggregators. I've got retargeting. Do you see that this is a diversified approach? Just like salespeople have the 8 ways to sell an automobile, a dealership has multiple ways to diversify their digital marketing push, and it's all important. To me, it's all important. There's nothing better than the other. When people ask, what's the best lead source provider, I tell them, and I'll say it right to their face, everybody. I mean, for $20 per lead, what the hell's the problem? Yes? So again, now, what I would do is start here. I love this one. Here's the ultimate strategy is after you set up your dealership in that level, let's play Who Sunk My Dealership, Who Sunk My Battleship, if you will. This is your dealership. What I would do is I identify your competitors. So this is, let's just say this is Andy Moore Chevrolet right here. So if this is Andy Moore Chevrolet, I would find all of his competitors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to do a competitive analysis of the 6 competitors. I'm going to do a SWOT analysis, identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I'm going to identify which dealership sucks the most. I'm a little person. I ain't trying to fight the big guy, right? I want to find out who is the worst, and I'm not saying the smallest dealership, who is sleeping at the wheel. Whoever sucks the most, I'm going to draw a circle and identify it as a target of opportunity, and I'm going to put this whole strategy, look at that, all that crazy circles and all the onion layers of marketing, I'm going to do to the weakest link, and I'm going to crush them. Systematically, I'm going to conquest their prospects, and if they suck, they're going to be slipping at the wheel. They're not going to be able to, stop it. Yes or no? That is a business strategy. You don't just go winging it and try to, sell everybody. Too many times dealers think this is like scarf basing, like, come on. They try to attack all the dealerships. It makes no sense. Identify the target of opportunity. Who is the weakest link and crush them. That's it. That's what it's about. You don't want to try to go so hard and spend all your money in all the wrong places. Again, first, solidify your PMA, then identify a conquest strategy and implement it. Invest in your people. On-demand training, in-store training, motivation, inspiration. Get connected with Auto Success Magazine, Automotive Internet Sales. Again, there isn't just a showroom anymore. There isn't just an internet department where there's just a dealership. It shouldn't be the internet department or a BDC. It's just a dealership that needs to be worked interdependently, cohesively. The only way to be successful in the automotive industry today is to acknowledge the internet is powerful, optimize the internet's capabilities, practice interdependence, full immersion in all profit centers so they work cohesively. If you're not in a state of constant evolution, you're in a perpetual state of transgression. That is it. You've got to be evolving. Now, as I close this right here, I just want to say, in 15 years, I've been doing automotive internet sales for 15 straight years. This is an amazing time that we're in right now. Embrace everybody, what's making them successful, and utilize it. You have to reinvent the wheel. Just find out what's working and start implementing it at your stores. Thank you very much.